Hi everyone, welcome back. Wednesday, May the 13th, and a rather cloudy, as we knew, a little more rainy of a Wednesday than what I had actually expected. That slight chance of showers stayed just that, but kind of hung on throughout the day, a light mist to a light rain. We are going to, however, see improving conditions that we spoke of last night. An update, however, will have us changing temperatures this evening and a little bit of timing to go along with your updated weather forecast as well. We'll also have a few stories that we're working on to speak of and a few that we have ready for you for tonight. We'll kind of pick things up where I left off or left out last evening. The Paintsville City Council was one of the first area and local governments to kind of get back to some sort of normal in at least their meeting fashion. They were able to meet in a special session this Monday night. They did so, not virtually, but actually all under one roof, albeit very sparsely populated, if you will, and all wearing their personal protective equipment, masks. And in doing so, discussed several topics, one of which, like all swimming pools across all cities and city parks, theirs will remain closed this summer. Also, that's going to give them a good opportunity to do some demolition there. There was also some more discussion on how they need to, by changing a policy, make an effort to try to save some $70,000 in workers' comp insurance. And there was some very good news in a very long ongoing project. Speaking of the Carter Lane project, where the mayor says that all the structures, houses, and trees should be cleared of that property by the end of May. We'll begin an update with remarks from Mayor Bill Mike Runyon, who announced what he has been told is tremendous progress in regards to the Carter Lane project, saying that he's been told that every house and structure and tree will be removed from the property by the end of the month. He also asked everyone to join him in thanking Lowe's for furnishing all of the flowers, potting soil, and other materials for the city's hanging baskets, which will be up soon as weather and time allows, and that now might be the best time to tear down the swimming pool building, in lieu of the fact of its condition and the city being unable to open it this year, as well as the census and the upcoming filing date for city council seats.
Also, Governor Beshear has told us that we cannot open the public pools for the summer. So I just want to run this by council in my announcements, and Jeff, I guess I'm allowed to do this. I don't think they can comment on it, but I just want to run it by them anyway. This may be a good time to tear that building down. May be a good time. If you can't open that pool, let's get that thing torn down. Let's get us something else put up that's nice. And also, Shoes is making progress on your basketball court over there. It's going to be a lot nicer once he gets that project completed. We need to thank Paul B. Hall for all the banners you're seeing in town. That's on the fire station, the 911 building, and going down Main Street.
What is it?
Banners thanking first responders. Also, census. We're not doing real well on filling our census out in the city of Paintsville. I will advise you that people will be coming door to door starting Wednesday, May the 13th. It's much easier to go online, takes about 5 minutes to get it done, so we can get our percentage up in Paintsville where it needs to be. Let me remind council members, your filing deadline, according to Sally Ann today, for city council is June the 2nd. That's the deadline, June the 2nd.
What do you do my hair
I got it all. And I think we all in this room need to thank all of our first responders and our healthcare workers for helping us get through this ordeal we're going through at this time.
First responders and the ambulance service were also a brief topic of discussion when it came to passing the first reading of the 2021 budget for the city of Paintsville. As after they did pass it, they agreed to make some changes or discuss some changes in regards to overtime, possibly changing shift schedules to do so. With Runyon also suggesting to his council that the city is going to have to enact a return to work policy to avoid paying an extra $70,000 to $80,000 in workers' comp insurance.
we're gonna have a return to work policy. Now, you remember the last time we discussed this, there were some city council members that wanted to change some things in it, but you never did get back with us to change those things. So there's a reason to adopt this, a big reason. And the big reason is that because of one certain department that you have, your workman's comp may go up 30 to 35%, which is going to cost you another $85,000 a year.
70 in workers' comp.
How much?
I got
70,000 in workers' comp.
Say someone's on workers' comp. They don't necessarily have to work. We can find something else for them to do.
Not without this policy. we
I
can't.
mean, it's not in there yet, but that's what we're gonna do today.
That's exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're going to help us.
Yeah. I mean,
You're going to help us,
you know,
finding something to do so that they don't have to draw workers' comp.
Because it will be light duty work, it could be filing, it could be sitting there, you know.
I mean, there's a lot.
It could be all kinds of things, as long as they're not doing anything that medically they're not allowed to.
I think there's a lot of businesses
And
that.
that way they're back to work and drawing a paycheck instead of on workers' comp.
Also from a neighboring county this evening, the passing of a Floyd County man who back in 1958 jumped into the icy waters to try to save all the kids aboard the Floyd County school bus that plunged into the river that day. He was one of many who would go on to form the very first rescue squad in the state of Kentucky. The Floyd County Rescue Squad was formed at the behest of Fred L. Goebel and many other founding members. Goebel, the last surviving member, laid to rest during services just days ago. It was Saturday that the rescue squad and Prestonsburg Fire Department, assisted by as many others as was possible, were part of a procession escorting 90-year-old Fred L. Goebel to his final resting place. He passed away on the 6th. Goebel, the Floyd County Rescue Squad's last surviving charter member, who helped get it off the ground after the school bus disaster of 1958. One of many men who spent approximately 3 months searching the river for those children who died in that bus wreck. Goebel preceded in death by his wife just 5 months ago, Anna Marie, who he had been married to for 70 years. A rescue squad, nonetheless, which has grown to be one that is nationally recognized for specializing in training EMS, rescue, and first responders, not just from all over Kentucky, but from all over this nation in swift water rescue. I'll be right back. Meet Silas. Silas is absolutely an adorable hunk of love and has all the hugs and kisses to prove it. He is super smart, potty trained, about 3 years old and about 60 pounds, and he is ready for adoption. He's our pet of the week. Our pet of the week, sponsored by Dr. Tom Abel of Able Eyes in Lexington, who wants to remind us all to stay safe, stay home, and his office will be back open before you know it. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. All Pro understands that we are all just trying to make it through these most difficult of times, and they want you to know that they're here to help with any repairs or projects that you need done. Big or small, doesn't matter. They've got 0% financing for 18 months and long-term financing if you need it. If you need anything, from a new gutter to a new house or a new garage, call All Pro Gutter Works and Construction, 349-9999.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Hey everybody, your Sagersvilleese just wanted to let you know that it's still here. It's gone so well that they're going to keep right on for as long as possible with the $5 off coupon for the 16 or 20-piece family pack meal deals at your Sagersvilleese. That's 16 or 20 pieces of chicken any way you like it with all the sides for all the family. $5 off. With the $5 coupon that's in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent, and Lee's is giving away a Sagersville Independent with every purchase, so there you go. The paper's free, the coupon's free, and you get $5 off only at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. So the following was a photo op that went south real quick, and I'll tell you why. It's also an upcoming story, one that I plan on starting to work on today, one that my editor, Heather Oney, has been anticipating for weeks now after being in touch with a local paramedic who works for Lifeguard Ambulance Service here in Sagersville, who for the past several weeks willingly and wantingly traveled to and worked at the epicenter of the United States COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, we've known for a little while that Amy Collinsworth, who lives on Burning Fork, was on her way back home after she and another local first responder that we'll talk about as well went to New York voluntarily, willingly, wantingly to help with the pandemic. And she had an escort, as local heroes do, hometown heroes, which actually disbanded just before she pulled into her driveway, which was where I was waiting. So one sole rescue squad truck and Miss Amy, and that was all I got for a visual. My apologies, a little miscommunication there. But nevertheless, Amy is home. She's safe. She's sound. And has a story that she is willing to sit down and tell with us. So just to let you know, we do have one of our hometown heroes home, safe, back, and well, and who you'll be hearing from here on Your News Today and in the Sagersville Independent very soon. But for tonight, I just wanted to let everyone know that she was indeed back and very deserving of her warm welcome. There are a lot of things that are going to be happening for our graduating seniors over the course of the next couple of weeks. None of them up to par, none of them even close to what we normally or wish we could be doing. The school system has been working very hard just to do as much as possible and anything as possible. And that kind of sums up today's story. With no traditional fanfare, no celebration or ceremony, today, you probably know if you're a parent, certainly a student, was the last official day of school for McGoffin County students. And for the senior class of 2020, another big denial or letdown handed them by the pandemic. But a few dozen of the 140 members of the graduating class of 2020 gathered today to hear the bell ring and leave the parking lot as a senior from the McGoffin County High School one last time. We'll be talking to as many of our seniors as possible relatively soon, and I'll tell you about that in just a few seconds. But as for today, Principal Chris Meadows told me after the lot was cleared that it was a pleasant sight to see some signs of life and some of his seniors, if only from a distance, in the parking lot.
Today being the official last day of school, our students left here March the 12th and didn't realize that it was officially the last day on campus. So earlier today, we heard here at the school that some of our seniors had planned on driving up and parking in their parking spaces the last few minutes of the day just so they could pull out of here at 3 o'clock. And we've spent a lot of time planning events lately, but this was one that we did not plan. They kind of took that on their own and planned that themselves, and some of us that were here working on some things just kind of came out and saw them off. But I think that they're looking for things that are normal at this point in time, and I think we all are.
Staff were at the high school today filming the awards ceremony that you'll be able to see on the internet and maybe on TV in the coming days. Meadows tells us more about that in just a second. And then next week, the school, with myself and Jim Arnott getting to help some, are going to be capturing each graduate as they get to walk across the stage individually, 10 minutes apart, with a few members of their family.
We actually filmed our awards ceremony today. It will air tomorrow evening at 6:30 on our Facebook page. These online platforms and meetings for us, that's a new territory for us, so we're hoping that turned out well, but we're in the process of editing that and cutting that down so that it makes a good program that will air Thursday the 14th at 6:30 on Facebook, and I'm sure people will begin to share that. And then we start next Monday on the 18th with graduation appointments, where each student and a limited number of family members are arriving at a scheduled time to hear their name called, walk the stage, experience some part of graduation, that traditional part, especially with walking the stage and hearing your name called and having your family with you.
So I want to say this real quickly in closing. I've been working with the school system on videoing the graduation, as it is going to be a graduation, just not in any close to a normal fashion. Filming one student at a time, as by appointment, they will come into the Magoffin County High School gymnasium with their cap and gown, receive their diploma with only a very handful of immediate family, by appointment only, several minutes apart, so no two are in the building at the same time. We're going to video it. Jim Arnett's going to be there for photographs, and then it's going to be a production that will be put together at the end. And throughout the planning of that and throughout this entire pandemic, I've wrestled with the fact on trying to sit down and talk to some of these seniors and social distance at the same time. Today, a prime example of just wanting to sit and talk to them. And, you know, if it was a group of adults like Mr. Meadows, he and I standing 20 feet apart conducting that interview as the audio depicted, it's not, you know, I'm not too worried about that. But doing so with a great number of students, handing them a microphone, that has concerned me. So our plans are, just to let everyone know, that as each student crosses the stage next week, over the course of 3 or 4 days, we will have cameras set up, of course, to film that, but also as they step off, we're going to hopefully maybe catch a few remarks from each one, and that will be a separate presentation above and beyond the graduation itself that I'll put together at a later point. So we hope anyone who wants to share a few thoughts on what this year has meant to them, or the likes or certainly their dislikes of it, I'm sure they'll have plenty to talk about, and we'll try to hear from as many of those as possible a little later on, so just keep that in mind. The actual next ceremony, as you heard, the virtual senior awards that they were performing or recording and putting together today at the high school will air tomorrow, as he said on his Facebook page, the school's Facebook page, at 6:30, and then the virtual graduation ceremony will be at the end of the month on the 29th, and next week, starting on Monday, and for about 2 or 3 or 4 days, they're going to have students coming in, like I said, one at a time. We'll be filming that and putting that together, and I'll keep you up to date on that, as I'll be up there throughout much of the first of next week at least, and that show on the 29th. Also a virtual project graduation that they're working on, which will also show on the 29th, and I hope to have that on TV for you as well. And then the Saturday the 30th, the following day after the virtual project graduation, will be the parade of graduates, and we'll talk about that as it gets a little bit closer. Here's tonight's community calendar, which consists of essentially a reminder that I have a calendar that's here for you whenever you need it. I do have a few birthdays on tap for later in the week, just not today. So just a reminder, birthdays and anniversaries and all your calendar announcements can be seen here, brought to you nightly by Magoffin Farm Bureau. Just send them to me and we'll tell everyone about them. We do, however, have going on funeral service announcements, a couple of reminders, and some new information, beginning with services to be held tomorrow, private and graveside, per the pandemic, for 77-year-old Wayne Hensley of Sagersville, who passed away Monday of this week, survived by his wife, Zelda Combs Hensley, and 2 sons, Lauren David and Daniel Wayne, and 4 grandchildren, 1 brother and 1 sister. Again, services to be held tomorrow, private and graveside at the Mose Howard Cemetery here in Sagersville, under the direction of the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Ronnie Prater, 54, of Sagersville, passed away on yesterday's date. Born to the late William and Geraldine Shepard Prater, he is survived by his wife, Lisa Roseberry Prater, 1 son, Ronnie Joe Prater, and 1 daughter, Sarah Elizabeth Prater, of Sagersville, as well as 3 brothers and 1 sister. Ronnie was also an assistant pastor at the Little Rachel Church. And private graveside services for the immediate family will be held in his honor this Saturday from the Prater Family Cemetery at Half Mountain. And 49-year-old David Bailey of Royalton passed away this week. Arrangements still incomplete at this time, but to be announced soon by the Sagersville Funeral Home. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville and get your prescriptions filled. Your over-the-counter medications and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle. either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
With the power to bring us together even when we're far apart, we keep families connected. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
A message from the Fraser's Prater Drug Store and Seasonal Shop families. Prater Drug wants you to know that you can now call, use Facebook, or use our Refill RX app to get your prescriptions refilled. And the drugstore also has designated curbside pickup parking in front of and behind the store. Simply call 349-3135. And at the Seasonal Shop, they're still posting new arrivals and taking orders with free shipping on most everything anywhere in the entire United States. And they're offering scheduled curbside pickup. Just message them on Facebook, Instagram, or email at seasonalshop@yahoo.com. Fraser's Prater Drug Store and the Seasonal Shop says let's all do what we can to help and protect our neighbors and loved ones. Car accidents don't stop. Accidents at work don't stop. Disability and SSI cases don't stop. Your legal needs and concerns don't stop for the coronavirus, and neither does McFarland and Tinker. They are open, able to schedule appointments per CDC guidelines, and always available for telephone and video conferences. Please, be safe, be smart, stay home, and don't let your legal needs fall victim to the pandemic. Call McFarland and Tinker and let them take care of them for you. There is never a good time for a breakdown. They will happen, and your car at some point is going to need some repairs and maintenance. And Black Smoke Performance is open and here with professional, fast, safe service. And just in time for warm weather, they now have certified full air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair to keep you cool in whatever you drive. Black Smoke Performance, 349-8785.
Hello, Connor Hutchison for Hutch Auto Group. I've been out of school and quarantined with my Uncle Bob for over a month, and he wants me to tell you what I've learned. You'll never pay too much when you buy from Hutch.
Now that is one smart kid. That's why I gave him this shirt.
You made me pay for the shirt.
Yes, I did. You'll find all the national incentives on our 8 franchises, like 0% interest for 84 months, deferred payments for up to 6 months. Remember, the Hutch Guarantee.
Times have changed, now and suddenly more than ever. Our lobbies might be closed, but the Sagersville National Bank wants to remind our customers that we're still here, we're still working to provide our community with as many services as possible. During this time especially, we encourage all of our customers to take advantage of all the options we offer to manage your accounts from the convenience of your home. 24-hour internet banking and bill pay, 24-hour telephone banking, remote deposit, automatic loan payments, and wire transfers are also still available to our customers. And we're still here during our normal hours. Mondays through Fridays, the main drive-thru is open from 8 until 3, and the branch drive-thru is open from 8 until 5. And the branch drive-thru is also open on weekends, Saturdays 8 until noon, with ATMs available 24/7 at both locations. The United States has seen 83,000 people die from COVID-19, 295,000 deaths globally. New estimates now coming from the White House and federal officials indicate that we might lose as many as 147,000 Americans. That's the most recent update, of course, as those numbers continue to be adjusted as we work our way through this. Here locally in Sagersville, yesterday, Public Health Director and Mayor Pete Shepard said we had tested 358 Magoffin Countyans. All that had come back had been negative. Today, a total of 375 Magoffin Countyans have been tested for COVID-19. 347 results have been returned, and the most recent today, again, all negative. Magoffin County is still a handful of counties with all negative results. He says there are also 28 pending tests at this hour that he will have as soon as they come in. that, here's our governor with our state's update today. Bashir announcing another 227 new cases of COVID-19 across the Commonwealth today, bringing our total to 7,080, saying that 117,000 and a few more have been tested for COVID-19 thus far. He also announced that 5 more Kentuckians have died in the last 24 hours, or reported to have died in the last 24 hours from COVID-19. Of the new cases, 4 were from Floyd County. 1, of course, we believe, which we mentioned to you earlier in the week, that of a Magoffin County or Sagersville employee. Also a new Pike County case as well, involving what I believe is a 43-year-old resident. He also had a major announcement in regards to the little 10-year-old, which is suffering from what is believed to be the Pediatric Multisystem Inflammatory Syndrome, no longer intubated, which is a very good sign of recovery, and we hope that continues. He also announced a Pediatric Multisystem Inflammatory Syndrome helpline at 1-800-722-5725, where it is staffed at the Norton Children's Hospital, where that 10-year-old, I believe, is also being treated, as we are starting to see cases and more concern of this syndrome, if you will, among our children. The governor also referred to Dr. Stack for a little information on today being the beginning of Phase 3 of the 4 phases of health care reopening across the Commonwealth.
Reverse order, so the governor mentioned about an update on the good news for our young patient with the pediatric inflammatory syndrome. So, Greg, if you could show that slide. So, we're going to take some initiatives related to this pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome. One of them is if you call the Kentucky COVID hotline, and the phone number is up there, it's 1-800-722-5725. Whether you are a patient or a clinician, they can be a resource for you. So for family members or parents who want to call with questions or concerns, they'll be able to give you some information over the telephone and help direct you if you need some telephone direction. For clinicians across the state, if you have questions or have a patient you need to consult upon, Norton will have pediatric specialists on backup to provide support and information. From the state level, for the Kentucky Department for Public Health, we are sending out this evening, and clinicians will start receiving it through the normal distribution channels tomorrow, an advisory giving additional information on the condition, and also requiring that if you have a patient who you suspect has this condition, that you report that to the Kentucky Department for Public Health, so we can fulfill our diligence in trying to help support the community as we work through this. So today is the 3rd of the 4 phases of a healthcare reopening over the month of May. The primary changes for today are that hospitals were permitted to resume inpatient surgeries and procedures at 50% of their pre-COVID-19 volumes. So this means a substantial number of the backlogged cases can now be performed, and patients who have needed care can get care. Additionally, there are still visitor restrictions in force. So when you show up at a hospital or a medical facility and they tell you that there are restrictions, that is correct. That is under the order of the state of Kentucky to keep people safe and minimize transmission of the disease. However, we also respect and understand that there is an absolute need to have family members be able to support their loved ones when they go through these obviously some scary medical procedures or seek care. And so at the discretion of the hospital or facility, there'll be able to be a single visitor per patient subject to their policies. And so if they give you a policy and ask you to comply with it, that is at the instruction of the state of Kentucky and the Kentucky Department for Public Health to minimize the spread of the disease. But now there will be able to be at least a single visitor with a patient to support them.
We're going to see a big jump tomorrow in temperatures that will continue to run right on out through your forecast period up until about Sunday evening. That's kind of when we'll take a step back to the tune of maybe 10, 12, 15 degrees for daytime highs. But for now, actually from tomorrow, which we'll see 79, close enough to 80, we're going to see the 80-degree mark, I think, all the way through the end of your weekend, with a few shower chances along that really shouldn't bother you all that much. Tonight, a milder 51-degree low, mostly cloudy skies, and some continuing showers out there. If it adds up to 1/10 of an inch, I'll be rather surprised. Don't think it will. Kind of light in nature and sparse on the radar, and nothing to really be concerned about. and really kind of something you want to put behind you for at least a little while, because for your Thursday, fog in the morning, but sunshine after, and we'll get close to 80 degrees tomorrow. So close, I'm just going to say it's going to be 80 because you won't know the difference. 79, 80. What's the difference after what we've been through? Sunny degrees, though, tomorrow, and we will see a bit of a breezy day as well. Winds out of the south, southwest, 5 to 10. On average, maybe 20 mile per hour gust, but a nice Thursday. I almost called it Friday. Whew. In store. And speaking of a nice Friday, we've got one of those too. Mostly sunny, and we will hit the 80-degree mark, and then some. Still winds out of the southwest, brisk, 6 to 9, maybe 24 mile per hour gust. There is a slight chance of some showers Friday night to the tune of a 20% shot. This is really a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before, well, around 7 o'clock in the evening thereafter. Very slight, very sparse, not really worried about it. We'll see skies become mostly cloudy tomorrow night, and that slight chance of some showers, or not tomorrow night, again, Friday night. Can you tell it's been a long week? But it's a slight chance. That's what I want you to take out of that jumbled forecast. And for your weekend, kind of more of the same. Saturday will still be in the low 80s. We'll still have partly sunny skies. We'll still have a 20% chance of some showers, maybe thunderstorms in the afternoon. Sunday looks kind of the same, low 80s again. A lesser chance of showers, 10% during your Sunday. Partly sunny, so you're going to be able to enjoy the weather. Sunday night, though, is when showers and maybe even some thunderstorms roll in, so it's really mainly after 11. So for the most part, I'm hoping for and looking for a pretty nice and mostly dry weekend. There's your Sunday looking at you. There's your Monday, your Tuesday, and your Wednesday, as that front takes us from the 80s Sunday to the low 70s, barely 70s on your Monday, but still with some sun, lingering showers from Sunday night into your Monday, and then we'll slowly pick up from the low to the mid-70s by, well, maybe the middle of next week. Now, let me say this before I say goodnight. It's press day today. That means print day tomorrow, and the Sagersville Independent will be on newsstands, which are a little few and far between right now. Pick one up if you can at all. Call for a subscription. That's always a great thing to do, so it's right there in your mailbox as soon as the post office gets it to you. And if you can't get out, we understand. That's why a full high-resolution PDF version of the paper is going on to our website and our social media pages every week, where you can just scroll through and see not just a portion of, but the entire newspaper. And in tomorrow's paper, a wonderful read about a former Magoffin County man. He's he's a little older than I am. He's close to 90, maybe a little bit more, and he's a COVID-19 survivor. And our editor, Heather Oney, has a wonderful story after speaking with him. And some others, I believe, and there's also a lot of other news and information, some sporting news, kind of keeping you up to date on the sports that are not right now, but still a lot in our sports section, and a host of other news and information as well. The list is long. It's an important read tomorrow. We hope you pick one up, check it out online regardless, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Thanks for watching.